US President Donald Trump officially kicked off his re-election campaign this week with a rally in Florida where he took aim at his critics and Democrat rivals, accusing them of un-American conduct. After 2.5 years in office, Trump asked the crowd of thousands in Orlando to imagine what life would look like if he lost in 2020, pledging to keep America great. I was joined earlier this evening by Oliver McGee, a former White House advisor and Republican strategist. President Trump, he's really been campaigning for re-election since day dot, since the day he was elected. What was different about this rally and the official announcement?
President Trump has been running for president ever since he was elected president in 2016. So this was really a time for him to put on a very spectacular show in Orlando. And more importantly, I think what was most revealing to the media is the impact of the new models, the new scientific and data models for voter turnout that Donald Trump and Team Trump is using in getting ready for 2020. They're going to be tapping into all of those people who have appeared in Orlando and also for rallies every 48 hours. And they're going to find out where they live, who they are, and what do they want to hear from Trump, because he's going to be flexible and adaptable to give them that message. And that message is going to be, are you in or are you out with the rising tide of globalism and socialism that is taking place on the Democratic side? And I think that's what the message that you heard during the speech in Orlando. He's asking that very enthusiastic crowd, are you in or are you out for Trump 2020?
He asked the crowd, didn't he, to think about what life would be like in 2020 if he wasn't elected, and he really took aim at his critics. So he was really upping the ante at that rally.
Yes, he was. And I think the media was rather surprised at the large turnout. There were 20,000 inside, another 70,000 outside. So I think he was really saying to the opposition, you better get ready for 2020 because our digital models are much, much better than what you have on the Democratic side. And more importantly, he's also saying that the polling data right now that was really largely built in the 1960s, those models are now broken, because when you see all of those people in Orlando, I think I was struck by how many people turned out and how many people were turning out 24 to 48 hours before the rally event. So get ready for a big, big show, particularly when you start seeing what's happening in Washington, D.C. on July 4th. That's going to be a patriotic bonanza, and that's going to be an opening of what's going to be coming in this campaign. Get ready, Democrats. You're in for a big ride.
Obviously, it's been a highly contentious and controversial presidency. That's an understatement. What really are Trump's chances?
I think he has a very, very good chance, because I like to call it the digitalisation of presidential politics now. And I also think that he's putting on a message, what I like to call Dexit, Democrat exit. And I think he's trying to say, are you in or are you out? And I think he has a very good chance in posing that question time and time again every 48 hours of those rallies, because I think we're seeing that there is in the middle a Dexit, a Democratic exit, because people don't want socialism. They don't want the extreme things that the Democratic Party is saying. And right now they're talking about black versus white, red versus blue. They're talking about race and gender, and they're even attacking the front-runner Joe Biden for segregation. They're all over the place except for Democratic plans for how to improve the country in a Trump economy, GDP that is absolutely extraordinary, low inflation, and the strong incumbency that you saw taking place in Orlando.
So who are the Democrats standing out amongst all of that then?
Well, right now, the front runner is Joe Biden, and he's being hit by all sides right now. I think they're trying to test his general campaign moxie when he has to go up against that Trump machine. But I think also coming at his left flank is Bernie Sanders, who is the large socialist who is really trying to pull the party way left. And then you've got the other candidates Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, who are trying to look at the race issue and the gender issue. And then there's obviously the comic relief of Senator Warren, who's really just trying to find where she is on identity politics, and that's a tough way to hold for her.
Oh, it's going to be a wild ride ahead. Oliver McGee, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me today.